Coverack. So I've just checked out of my little B&B over there. It was lovely. And I'm headed that direction. So there's like two little peninsulas. From what I've heard, the path has recently changed. The old path, it was probably like a little under 6 miles to Porthallow, which is where I'm going. But the King Charles III coastal path is what they're building right now, and they're moving a lot of the Southwest Coast path to be closer to the coast to kind of be the same path. And so I've heard that they've moved the coastal path closer, and so I'm gonna follow my map unless there's clearly marked signs that point to something else. I'm not sure how much infrastructure is up around it, and I don't want to be weed whacking and trying to get through the bracken like I was yesterday. That's not the journey I'm after. It's about 9 o'clock. I told the people at my next B&B that I'd be there about 2, so I have quite some time. But again, with the bigger pack and with who knows how overgrown it's going to be, I just wanted to give myself a little time and space. So fingers crossed, off we go. My first waypoint of the day, however you pronounce that. Stepped into this very wooded area. I'll take it as long as the plants aren't touching me. We're about to enter a salt working site that has been there since the 2nd century AD. That's kind of cool. In other news, the little teeny bugs are out, so is the bug head net. Been largely walking through this wooded area. There's lots of water. It's really humid, and there's no breeze today, so might be a bug net day. That's what I got. I cannot escape the ferns. This is apparently the path. See, lovely. A new kind of style for me. It's literally just a pile of rocks. I'm not mad about it though, because they're pretty stable. So onward. Well, here's a little bit of a map. Started out in Coverack. That's where I am. And that's about the halfway point, the Porthallow, maybe? It's telling you a bit about the quarry. This is the ancient salt works from the 2nd century. I don't know. No, people have lived here since that long. Who knows? It's the manacles, offshore reef. And it seems that once upon a time you could have a nice little lunch here, probably before all this was overgrown. This is casually on the side of the path. Cool. So I'm about 2.6 miles in. Little beach area here. Decided to have a little bit of a break. Put my feet in the water for the first time. They're feeling a little rough. Definitely got some heat rash, which is super fun. The water is so nice. So nice. Very cold though. I will not be swimming in this temperature. But whew, very pretty. So I think I found the new coast path. There's definitely a sticker there. I saw some people walking through the field. It looks well trod. This sign is here, but it definitely looks older, and it says new route is unlikely to be open for use until spring of 2024, and it's 2025 in the summer. And I know that on the actual website it says this is the way it goes now, as of a few months ago. So I think I'm gonna try my luck. I think that might be the other option, and that doesn't look fun. Casually walking through this field of cows. And right up ahead is the next trail marker. Hooray! So the path kind of still scuttles around the quarry, but much closer than the old inland path. So I'm just gonna keep following it. I think it's gonna dump me still down in the beach down there. And then it might take me around that headland as opposed to the old path, which kind of cuts across in the middle. But we'll find out. Let's go. We are officially walking on hedge-lined, very narrow country roads. Very glad that I'm wearing very bright colors. Let's hope I don't encounter any vehicles. However, clearly very recently trimmed this back. Bless you. That little village of like Porthallow, or however you pronounce it. Very cute. The sea over there. So this clearly old sign says that the inland route to Porthallow is only 1.5 miles, and it's 11:30. And I don't have to be there until 2. I might walk down to the beach here, eat some lunch. In fact, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's slightly early for lunch, but I'm hungry. And if the trail looks anything like it's been looking, there's not going to be a ton of space for me to like sit and not be just like covered in plants while I do that. So I'm gonna eat here and then I'll get back on the trail. This thing was open because I would really like a Coke. But what are you gonna do? Ooh, there's a little soccer, football, whatever you call it, pitch. And there's some tables. How nice. Quarry, which sounds still in use. I passed a sign that said it was for grout, which I'm assuming is like the stuff you put in between your tiles in your kitchens. Anyways, this is a little pebble beach. Seems to be a little path you can take to look at those ruins. The sign for the Southwest Coast Path is back there, so I'll probably go back to where that sign is and like keep moving until I see maybe another one of those diversions of like, oh, here's gonna be the new path, go this way. If I don't see one of those, I guess I'm taking the inland route. I just don't have a good map for what the new route is, and I don't want to go off-roading without a map. So I do have a map for the old route, so we'll see. From lunch, lovely beach. I made little wraps. I have some little chippy crisp things. Apple cider vinegar and sea salt, not it. The apple cider vinegar is too sweet, but I'm gonna eat them because I need more salt, and they're there. I have a little tuna packet. I am putting on these little wraps that I have. And I'm sitting on my, I can't really see it. I'm sitting on my little foam thing so the little rocks don't mess me up. My poles using my pack that's like propped up because of the incline as a backrest. Really not mad about this situation. I have a lot of stuff with me, but like it makes the down times and like getting through the hard stuff like much more enjoyable, and to me that's worth it. The berries are actually starting to turn. I'm never here this late to actually see it. Ooh, that one looks almost ready. Wow. I think I found like a random pear tree. Like, that's what these look like to me. Random. Kind of cool though. I think in that cove right over there is Porthallow. And then down the road somewhere is Falmouth. That might be, I think that might be Helford, maybe. Unknown. And I think Falmouth, or maybe not. I don't know, I can't tell from here. All I know is at some point I'm gonna walk all of that. Probably not this trip though. The thing about this clearly newer route is that it's been well cut out, but not cut back recently. So these little stair things, the rods on the other side are pretty new. You can kind of see it right over there-ish. that metal pole is like brand spanking new. And like right over there, you can't see, but there's a bunch of extra of these little wooden things. So like there's a path, it's cut out, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing some bushwhacking here in a hot second. Let's hope this is not it until we get to Porthallow. The new path basically takes you up and around and down that, and then along here until you hit that beach. We'll see where it goes from there. North Caris. I don't see any signs, but in theory it continues around that way, the path. So I think I'm gonna attempt that. We shall see how that goes. Okay, still no signs. Usually when I'm starting to feel this way, that's when a sign appears. So, ooh, is that one behind that car? Let's find out. No signs anywhere, but this is generally where the OS map had showed me to go. So I might continue on and see if it comes through. Fingers crossed. A little further than I wished it were, but I have acquired sign. Amazing. That direction. I think that might be it. Like Porthallow. It's about 12:45. Taking 2 sizable breaks. I don't leave until like 9, but that's not too shabby. Oh look, I think they're like oysters or clams or whatever. They're growing something out there. But let's go see. Never fear. Well, that is it. I get to go on an adventure first to get there. Amazing. I say sarcastically. Okay, I'm now going downhill into what I hope is the village. What you missed was me bushwhacking through a bunch of ferns, going sheerly uphill. It was not fun. But catching my breath now and hoping that was the last. Emerging from the foliage to this lovely view. And look, it's the path halfway marker. Let's go check it out. Made it. This is actually my 3rd mile marker, like post. It's my 2nd actually. I have done the one in, well, sort of Pool. And then later in this trip, I'm gonna do the one in Minehead, so I will have seen all of them. I am relaxing on the beach. It's like, I think 1:15 maybe 1:20. Check-in's about 2, so just gonna relax until it's time to go to my guest house, B&B, whatever it is. I was hoping for a sunny afternoon to come spend it on the beach, but it's still that. So I don't think I'm gonna be swimming, but I might come back and stick my feet in the water again. So we shall see. But for now, I'm just gonna chill. The village is very sleepy and most things seem to be closed most of the time. There's that restaurant that's definitely not open while I'm here. There's supposed to be a little beach shack somewhere. It's also not open. There's this inn right there, which is also a pub, which is very much shut. And yeah, that's about it. There's like a village hall over there. Everything seems to be closed, at least according to my host. He emailed me ahead of time to give me a heads up about that, which I do appreciate. They offer food for sale at their place that they'll cook for you from dinner, and breakfast is included. So I decided to take them up on that offer since there's really nothing else here, and didn't really want to eat a peanut butter and jelly wrap for dinner. So that's what I'm doing. I ordered a veggie burger and chips, but it's not going to happen until 10 or 7. And I ate lunch at 11:30, and it's just before 2. So I have a lot of time before dinner here. I did want to actually walk about 3 miles more. There's another little village called Flushing. It's even smaller than this. Seemingly it's mostly just like vacation cottage rentals and stuff like that. So I couldn't find anywhere to stay there was the issue. I was hoping to find like a B&B or a guest house or something like that, or even a pub to stay at. because it would have broken up my walking a lot more. So I did just under 6 miles today. And if I would have done this extra, it would have been like 8.5, or 9.5-ish, which is kind of what I did yesterday. But then that would have set me up for doing about 11 the day after and getting all the way to Falmouth. As it is, I have to get to Headford Passage, which is the big river crossing that you have to do. You have to like take a ferry and stuff. It's about 7 miles from here, and then it's about 7 miles from there to where I'm staying in Falmouth. So with all of my stuff and things, and kind of the fact that I'm going slower, it's the beginning of my walking trip. I don't know if I'm going to make that in any reasonable amount of time, but it's going to be kind of dependent on the first river crossing tomorrow. So I'm just going to get up and start walking and see how far I get. But it's either 7 or 14 are kind of my two options, because there's no bailout points after that first, after the river crossing. Like there's a bus stop like at the top of a hill there. And I can take that right back into Falmouth, and then come back out, you know, the next day or whatever and continue walking, or I can keep walking. So we'll see what I do, but today feels a little early to be ending, but I am ending. So I'll pick you back up if I do anything or I see anything. I'll probably show you my room at the place, but there might not be anything exciting happening for the rest of the day. It's my very adorable little room. I was supposed to have a single, but she upgraded me. I don't know why. I think I have a little deck. Like, check it out. That looks like a deck. And then this is my own little bathroom shower. Amazing. Tea and coffee. A little closet. Good. Yeah, this will do me just fine. Gotta say, not too shabby of a view though. I'm guessing that's Falmouth across there. Could be wrong. Who knows? I've been sitting on this little deck looking at the lovely sea view from my accommodation. And I've been thinking a little bit about this whole like backpacking when carrying my stuff so that I can like, you know, stay along the way and not have to go back to a home base. And I don't love the backpacking part of it. Like the backpack is heavier than I want it to be. It's kind of annoying to schlep all my stuff around, but like I probably wouldn't be able to stay in a little village like that. Like that's the whole village. And where I stayed last night in Coverack, it's like not that much bigger than this. So like these are two places that like I could stay here because I was doing the walking, and it's like so nice, so peaceful. Yes, it takes a little bit more doing in terms of finding food and stuff like that, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's like it's like there's definitely pros and cons. Like I want to give it a little bit more time before I make any sort of, you know, like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. And I'm going to do a whole nother slightly longer trip later in this trip with the backpacking like this. But I think for me, like, it's nice to do it sometimes, but I don't think this is what I would want all of my hiking to ever be, because I do like being able to have a home base and go out with my day pack and have it be very easy too. So this takes a lot of planning and like coordinating. So I think, I don't know, it might be nice to have a mixture of both if I'm still feeling this way at the end of the summer, but we'll see. So far it's been pretty good. Bushwhacking through overgrown pathway notwithstanding.